right, first question, Tom Brew.
Hello, Michael.
How you doing?
I'm well. You guys, this is really sort of the first stretch during the Big Ten season where you had a little bit of a gap between games from Saturday to Saturday. How productive has that been in regards to getting legs fresh and maybe putting some new things in?
Well, I don't know if we got legs fresh, but because we've been practicing, we've had a day off because it's mandatory. We might have had 2 days off, I think, this week because of the NCAA rules. But, you know, we've had a good practice yesterday. I was able to add a few things. And we just kind of been film watching, watching Illinois and trying to prepare for them.
Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I was listening to Brad Underwood earlier today, and he said they've seen just about everything when it comes to defending Kofi, from doubling to, respecting shooters because they can play inside and out. What are you seeing when it comes to dealing with their inside out attack?
Same thing. There's no big secret. It's what it is. And, his last game, they milked him until, they couldn't milk him no more in terms of throwing it into him and him dominating the inside game. I mean, that's where their strengths are. I thought Wisconsin played him fairly well early, but Wisconsin made shots early. And then second half, they just couldn't make any shots. And it was kind of like a one-man show with him dominating the paint. So, I mean, listen, he's not going to disappear on us. We know we got to play him, and we got to play guys on the perimeter. Purdue had the same kind of setup in terms of perimeter play and two big guys. And it was a battle. I mean, Kofi is good. I mean, he's NBA ready. It's kind of how I look at it. And we're gonna have to play him. I mean, he just can't run from him. We gotta commit ourselves to playing him and playing the guys that are out on the perimeter.
Alec.
Hey, Coach, you touched a little bit on the guards and the perimeter players. What is it that they do so well, that group, that makes Illinois so difficult to defend if you do double down on Kofi?
Well, if you watched their team last year, their spacing was not like it is this year. They more spaced out this year, which makes it difficult to even double team and get back to the shooters. Last year, I thought they were more condensed in terms of how they ran their offense, and he's kind of opened it up a little bit more, I think, this year in watching them. But they got guys that can make shots. They're averaging, I think, 8-9 threes a game. So you're going to have to deal with both of them. I mean, I don't know how you can get around it. So our defensive attack has just got to be on par in terms of being able to fight him inside, and if we got to scramble to get to shooters, we got to do that as well.
Hey, Coach, talking about the guards, Plummer and Frazier for Illinois, having to stay in front of them and stay out of foul trouble as well. Xavier, of course, a big part of what you guys are doing offensively. How important is it that he stay out in front of those guys, but all of the guards for Indiana stay out of foul trouble?
Well, I mean, let's see if we can get them in foul trouble. That's how I look at it. No, I mean, I don't know. Again, we played against good guards, guys, this year. And, Frazier and Plummer are very talented, guards. And, again, guys, we can't run from it. We got to play them. We got to keep them in front of us. We got to defend the three, and we got to defend their inside game. I mean, they got the total package. And we got to defend it if we going to give ourselves a chance to win.
Next question, Dustin.
Hey, Mike, doing a story on Xavier. I know you've been asked a lot about him lately, but I guess what were your sort of initial impressions of him when you started recruiting him, when you got the job? What did you like about his game at that point, and what did you feel like you had to fix, and how far do you feel like he's becoming in the direction of being the point guard you want him to be?
Well, when we watched him early, the fact that he averaged, 13, 14 points a game was intriguing in that league. And we knew, his style of play, he was kind of up and down and kind of sporadic a little bit. And he was more X versus his surrounding parts. So that's been my whole theme since getting him, is trying to get him to understand really the dynamics of what a point guard's responsibility is. You got to have Coach Woodson's point guard mentality and know when to pull out X's mentality when it's time to do that. And I think all great point guards figure that out after a while, that, hey, this is how Woody wants us to play, but I got to be able to sometime break Woody's stuff and venture out and do what I think I do best. And I'm never tied his hands, but again, he's got to learn pick and roll play. He's got to learn, who hadn't had a shot or how you can go about getting a guy a shot. That's what great point guards do. And I think things now for him are starting to slow down a little bit, and we're starting to reap a little of those benefits, I think.
Kevin.
Coach, Michael Durr hasn't played the last couple of games. Is there something going on with him physically? And if he's available, is he a guy that you can deploy on Kofi because he's
I just didn't play him those few games. That was coach's decision. And I think I have that right if I don't feel like playing the guy. But this is a game that he got to be ready. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because we got a monster in the middle that somebody's got to deal with it. So be ready.
Zach.
Coach, I guess going back to, in particular, sort of defending the way Illinois goes inside out, where is Rob? Do you anticipate him potentially being available for this game? Or
No, Rob will not be available. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know when Rob is coming back for a while. He's got a plantar fasciitis problem, and, we got to nurse him back. And so it's next man up. He won't be back for this game.
Tom.
Mike, what do you feel about like noon games on Saturday, especially with times off, in regards to guys having a really good energy level and being ready to go early games like that? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter to me. My thing is, I think we've had some early games. I can't recall the games, but I know that it might have been one early game that we came out flat. And, we can't have that against Illinois. We got to come out ready to play, just like we were ready to play. I thought in the Maryland game, even though they jumped us, we were still engaged and ready. I thought the Penn State game, we were really ready to play. Purdue game, we were ready to play. We got to come out we can't be flat. We got to come out ready to compete for 40 minutes because they're going to force you to do that.
Last question, Mike Schumann.
Yeah, Coach, Trace had foul trouble against Purdue going against their bigs. Is there anything that came out of that film that you think he needs to focus on against Cockburn tomorrow?
Well, again, when he played big fella Edie, you can't give these guys angles. It's tough enough when they so huge, and if you let them get so low, he's just I just think he's going to have to fight just like Mike and whoever has to play him. They're going to have to just fight and hope for the best. I don't know how we're going to. I'm not giving our defensive schemes, but the guides are low, and I don't think any big in college basketball that plays low post play, if you give them angles, then you're in the catch-up position all night. And I thought the two fouls that Trey picked up early against Edie, it was because he gave him some angles, and he tried to get back after he got the ball, and it was just too late.